Hi, so I am in Colorado where I woke up this morning and it was snowing, which I didn't realize was going to happen, and it was about 9 degrees, so I think it's warmed up a little bit, but it's been a big shock to go from Florida to cold Colorado. Although the snow is beautiful, I sure do miss looking at the water in Florida. But as we were coming back, I had people even in the airport telling me that they were getting sick. So I went to give somebody a hug, and instead of a hug, they said, no, don't touch me, I think I'm getting sick. And I know several other people that were just really, really sick and couldn't even go to the conference. And I know there are people all over the country. I just had several people, one person I didn't even hardly know, just contact me that her daughter is very, very sick, not part of Partner Co. But anyway, so I wanted to give you some tips to prevent anything from happening, and also to help if you have it. So this is some of the tips. So I'm going to do everything from some natural remedies to homeopathy to even some products that our company has that I also work with. So first of all, when my kids are starting to feel sick, one of the things that you can do is do a self-lymphatic massage on just the top part of your body. So that is super easy. So you take basically all the fluids, sinuses, everything, and you start pushing that all towards the ear area, and then you come down and pull it through, and you'll feel there's kind of like some little bumps right behind your ears, and you just start tapping and pulling that down until you get down to where your ducts are. So you want to release it and pull. You can see on my neck, you can pull it down and just start tapping. And if you can get this, you can do this for a while. You could take an Epsom salt bath with hot water. You could do lavender or whatever else you need in your as far as essential oil, and just continuously do this for your face. Also giving yourself a massage on your hands and feet, even between your thumb and your forefinger. That's a great place to help your immune system. So if I start feeling something, or my kids, a lot of times I'll grab them and start doing that because it really does help. Some other things that I love to do, I learned in Germany that going to saunas is great. And so I have a little sit-in sauna, and sometimes I'll use that one. But I find if I'm really fighting something, I will go to a pretty good dry sauna, and I can feel right away that my immune system starts kicking in. So what do I do as far as homeopathy? So right away, so when we were actually still in the airport, we had flown to Dallas, and I tried to give somebody a hug and they said they were sick. I pull out my Ferrum Phosphoricum 6X, which is a cell salt. You can get it at natural grocers or online, super easy. And I gave it to myself, and I offered it to anyone who was around me, because this will, a lot of times if you're starting to feel any inflammation, it'll kick it right out. Also, I give this, my kids will take it when they have a big performance, or they're about to go on a weekend with church or whatever it might be, a retreat. And so they'll take this, and sometimes my son tends to use a lot of it because they know that it keeps them going. So this is one of the first things that I grab, and that if I didn't have a little kit with me in the airport, I wouldn't have had this. So a first point that I always try to say to people is, please always carry homeopathy with you, because you know what, in the airport there wasn't going to be any place that had the remedies that I need. And in Florida, I had all sorts of people coming up to me, I've got this issue, I've got that issue, and so I would hand them something, they would come back and say, oh, I'm feeling better, or I need another dose, and most of the time they would feel better. So these are just essential oil cases. I make these myself, and then you can just fill your little pellets in here and label them. I do it alphabetically. So I recommend giving this to every family member you have to put in their backpack, to take to work. My husband takes one of these to work, along with another remedy that I'm going to talk about. So that way you have it. So if you're not prepared, you cannot kick it out as quickly. So that's number one. Besides doing all the preventative, like good sleep, right? And making sure you're eating healthy and not overdoing sugar. So the next thing that I would do is, if I felt something like I was really getting sick, I would do Aconite 200, and Bryonia 30. And that's a great Banerjee protocol that can help you when you're starting to feel sick, especially if it's coming on quickly. Sometimes you'll just kind of get knocked over and all of a sudden it's happening. Also, like I said, we do use this one as a preventative. Sometimes, like when my kids are doing theater, I might start 2 days before Tech Week. You guys know Tech Week. And then I follow it all the way through their performance and then do it a day or two after, and it makes a huge difference. So it will help your symptoms so they're not as bad, or just even prevent you from getting sick at all, which is my goal. Another one that is great is, and these you have to usually order, is Basilinum 30 and Anise 200. So there are some homeopaths that use that as a preventative, like once a month or once a week, and it really cuts down on the symptoms. Also, if they do get sick, I'll usually give those to them. The other ones I wanted to talk about is boron has some great remedies. So this is oscillococcinum, and it just comes in little tubes. You can get them, even our local grocery store carries these, Walmart, wherever. And so I have my husband or anyone put a couple of these in those little tiny kits, so that they have some of these with them, so they can take this right away, and you take the whole tube. So that one's a good one. Also, this one helps with any kind of flu symptoms. So if you're already coming down with something, you can dose this quite often. And like I said, I recommend doing the whole bottle, because that's what it recommends. In the past, I was like skipping on it and like, let's try to save it. But you know what? For me, it's worth it not to have a family member or myself sick. Boron makes some other homeopathy that is great. Cold Calm is wonderful as you're dealing with throughout your cold. And this is going to have a whole bunch of homeopathic remedies in here, and you may not understand them all, but you can always look them up. Like allium sea butt is from onion, super easy. Nux vomica is actually from a poison nut, but it's going to help you when you've overdone it or you're feeling sick. So I recommend these, especially for somebody who's just, like I say, low entry. They haven't figured out homeopathy. They can just run to the store, they're feeling sick. This is super easy instead of finding an exact remedy. Sometimes you start to wonder if you're having allergies. You'll start to have allergy issues, so this one is great for allergy season, or if you're just starting something coming on. And Sinus Calm is also great if you're starting to feel it in your sinuses. So that one can really clear you up. Again, I would recommend keeping all these on hand, so you're not trying to run out in the middle of the night, because somebody that contacted me, they started feeling sick last night, and it was after the stores were closed, and that doesn't do us any good, right? So having them on hand is important. This is 2 different kits. This is a Helios kit that you can get on Amazon, and this is a big kit that I prefer because it's got a ton of remedies. So this I can travel with, I can keep with me, and look at all these different options that we have here. Especially when you're getting into the cough stage and you've got various coughs that you are figuring out. I wanted to mention that I have a book that I just wrote. It's over 100 pages. It's very colorful. It walks you through all of this. It tells you what to have on hand for emergencies, where to buy things, what pharmacies to go to, what books to have on hand. And so I'm doing this course on the 21st and 22nd of February on Zoom, so you can be anywhere in the world or in person. So it's going to be about 3 hours on Friday night, and then several hours on Saturday, so that you can walk away equipped, able to help your family. And I actually guarantee that if you do not save your family money in their medical bills or vet bills by following these principles, I will give you your money back, because once you learn how to do this, it's going to save you. I mean, if it saves you one emergency vet visit, I teach you how to do, treat animals, then right there, it's been worth it to buy a few remedies that are very inexpensive and to have this on hand. So don't wait until your family member is so sick. So anyway, I'm going to turn in here. I have a whole section. I go through remedies. I go through what homeopathy is for those that need to understand it, all the types, resources and links of where to buy everything. I send this to you electronically. And then I have a whole section on first aid homeopathic remedies. So I have a section on colds and flus. So I talk about influenzaninum, which 200, you can take that. We take it about monthly during the cold and flu season. My husband went from needing to do that yearly one for the flu, being military, to, okay, give me something. So he's usually the best to remember and tell us, okay, it's that time of the month, it's the first of the month, we need to take that. So that will definitely bring down your, so you just don't get sick as likely. Not that it's going to be 100%, but it really reduces it. And then I go through, you know, like I talked about, if there's a first sign of it, aconite and bryonia. I know silicosinum, runny nose and sneezing, allium cepa, natrum mur if it's clear, and I give descriptions of what's happening, you know what to get. Arsenicum for a thin burning discharge, it's better with warmth. I go through different types of coughs because have you noticed as you go through a flu or cold, your coughs will change, and instead of, oh my gosh, I've got to go back to the doctor and try to get something else, this isn't working, you can pivot within a second and grab another cough remedy and see if that works for yourself or, you know, a loved one. So for example, Bryonia alba is great for dry, painful cough that you just don't want to move. Spongia tosta is great for a dry, barking cough. Phosphorus is good for tickling in the throat. And the other one is that I love is antimonium tart for anything that gets caught in the lungs. My husband loves that one when it goes to his lungs. Sore throat, what do you do if there's sore throat? So Herbal is a great one for if you're just feeling too much mucus and you feel like you're going to have an infection. Mercurius Sol is great for painful with excess salivation. And then belladonna for red inflamed throat, and I would pair that probably with Herbal. What about body aches? I know some people are going through the body aches and they're so pained and uncomfortable, so gelsemium is great for that. If you're just like feeling lethargic, you don't have that energy, this is going to bring that up for you. Eupatorium is another one that I absolutely love. It really helps with anything, those deep body aches that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even turn, or when I turn around in bed, it just hurts, right? And another one is great is Rhus tox. That one can really help with that achiness as well. And then, so again, this is easy. So if you had that issue, you could pull this up, figure out what you needed. If you had your kit, you could just pull it out and use it. If you don't have a kit, you could order it, overnight it from Amazon, or go to whatever pharmacy or store, like here at Sprouts. I don't know if Sprouts is all over the country, that you could go to get this. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I love to do immunity teas. And so I love to bring in herbal stuff as well, because as many tools as we can have in our toolkit is best, right? So this is just one example. We love this fireberry. We've used it for years. So if we get sick, I usually make a big thing of tea. I put in garlic, because garlic, of course, is antibacterial, antiviral. And then I put in ginger and bay leaves. I put in slippery elm, because that can really help with sore throats. And some other herbals that I use as well. Of course, fresh lemon juice, it's got better enzymes. You can use the bottled, but the fresh enzymes from a lemon is great. And then raw honey as well can help soothe that cough or that throat. This is another one that we used for years, actually, before I knew a lot about homeopathy. It's called Buried Treasure. My husband used to use this quite a bit. He would go through bottles of it as he was trying to prevent stuff, as he would fight colds throughout the flu and cold season. So this one works pretty well, but I feel like the homeopathy honestly works better. And finally, this is two products that Partner Co sells, the company that I'm working with. And by the way, we just had a fantastic conference in Destin. I got to meet so many people that are improving their health. I mean, that went from being in wheelchairs to having all these sorts of issues, being in chronic pain, to improving their life, losing weight, and helping themselves with the slenderized drops. These are actually not part of the slenderized drops, but this is Limu, which is from seaweed, and it actually has fucoidin in it. And I just was doing some research for a lady who came up, she's about to have a double mastectomy that I met on the plane, and so I gave her a whole bunch of information. This is a great one. Put this in ChatGPT and just look at what fucoidin does for your body. And this 5X is 5 times stronger than the regular one. And right now, this one's actually on sale, 20% off. So I would definitely recommend this if you're starting to feel sick, if you're dealing with any kind of inflammation. We also have this one that's called Noni. And this one is actually from a fruit. And this one's from the Tahitian area. And this one is a superfood. It's been used for centuries for any type of different ailments. But if you're starting to feel this and you have this on hand, I would recommend drinking a lot of this, both of these actually, and it's really going to help boost your immune system and hopefully help you get over this faster. So let me know if you have any questions or if you're interested in any of these products. Again, I would love for you to buy my book so that you have these resources so that you can be prepared, because I believe in being prepared and not scared, so that you can avoid unnecessary pharmaceuticals, unnecessary medical visits. I mean, who wants to spend time dealing with insurance companies and just such a pain, you know, making those appointments. Oh my goodness, they can't get me in for 2 days and I'm so sick. When you learn homeopathy, you can avoid the headache, the stress, and save money with that. So anyway, I want to do a quick prayer for everybody that's feeling sick, and then I will let you go. So dear precious Lord, I just pray for those that are sick around the country, Lord, and around the world, actually, in case there's somebody watching in from somewhere else, Lord. I just pray for healing and health and wholeness for their bodies. Pray that you'll give them peace where they are and not fear, that they will be able to walk in health, and that they are vibrant and that they're flourishing. In your name, amen. Thank you.